your character, everything. You don't feel empty when you miss things such as football games or this or that when you're elevating. Number 2, the control of action. When you control your actions, you don't allow others' opinions to validate who you are as a person. You will be comfortable in your own skin. You will make decisions and have no problem telling others what you will and what you won't do. This is a sign of spiritual growth. Steadfastness, the third principle of Tahuti, which is equivalent to fortitude, which shows that you have what it takes to endure through painful conditions because you know at the end of the day that you are in tune with the creative force of this universe. When you have experienced this level, people will look at you like you're crazy because you're steadfast. You're still striving to succeed. One of my mentors told me that if people don't look at you like you're crazy, then you're not doing something right. When you have reached this level, you know that you are here for a purpose. And you have the blinders on. Nobody will stop you. Imagine Mama Harriet Tubman, right? One of the greatest examples of a prophet. Huh? You know, Moses, all right, Moses did some real wonderful things in the Bible. We're talking about a book. Right. We're talking about a book. We got all types of stories. But let's talk about something that's dear and close to us, where we can go right up to New York and touch the grave, dig it up, and find her. So Harriet Tubman, one of the greatest examples of steadfastness and purpose. Could you imagine the people who told Harriet, you are crazy. You're a fool. You done made it down there how many times and back? You ain't giving up yet? But guess what? Harriet Tubman still lives. I guarantee you, those same people who told her that, they are dead and forgotten. So, what are you going to do in your life? Will you be remembered like Harriet Tubman? Will you, not even on the level of Harriet Tubman, will your family remember you for being a great person? When you're remembered as a great person, you endured a lot of struggle. A lot of struggle. You know, do you want to be remembered for having a shiny car? Or do you want to be remembered for leaving a legacy? In the book of Ptah-hotep in the Husia, it says it like this. Page 43, section 7. If you are a leader, see that the plans you make are carried out. Do great things, which will be remembered long after you. Will you settle for mediocrity or will you live forever? That's the question. That's the question. It doesn't matter how old you are, elders, youngsters, whoever, in between. Doesn't matter how old you are. I say if you're older, you need to get to working. Because you only got, let's count the days. As older we get, we got a little bit left. So get to working. Ain't none of us getting any younger. Right? Sure. When those things that will be remembered after you, let me see this. Will you settle again for mediocrity? Or do you want to live forever? Do you want to be an ancestor whose name reigns forever? Or do you want to go along because going along is comfortable? Going along is comfortable, right? No challenge? Now, another thing to think about is your mothers, your father, your sister, your brother, your girlfriend, whoever, they'll be the greatest challenges. They will be the greatest challenges. Your family members, the ones who love you dearly, will be the ones who you allow to keep you in a state of nothingness. They are the ones that will say, look, don't do that. This ain't right. I mean, let's just live. Stop worrying about people. Stop. I mean, people not worried about you. All that black stuff. Man, I gave up a long time ago. Man, look at some TV. Here, eat this bacon. You want some French fries? These are the ones who will do this to you. Go to sleep. You know, they're concerned about you. They just don't want people to think you crazy. You know, all the right people think you crazy for all the wrong reasons. People think you crazy for doing what's right. Ain't that something? This is especially if they don't have a vision of their own. They attribute this with temperance or self-control. This is represented by the individual when he or she shows conquest over their passion desire. You must be able to show conquest over your passion desires. Those things that you say, it's calling me. Whatever that you use as a vice is inhibiting you from a deeper spiritual growth. If you can't control the vices, then you have not mastered yourself. I know some people getting touched in here, and if it ain't, I'm going to say it again. If you can't control your vices, then your vices are controlling you. A lot of these vices, we say we ain't got no money, but these vices cost. Some of us spend more vices and then talking about what you going to do with, you know. It can't, look, if they took that same money and put into the plans, these economic plans, they'd rather give a reason why they can't give to an organization like the African Village, but they ain't the dang cigarette or the whatever, the drink or the booze, the candy, whatever. They buying it every day. These passion desires can be the good life. They can be that's what's good. You know, I'm sipping on my, you know. A life without conflict. This is the good life. Let me just sit here, drink my Coke, and soak my dope. A life sitting on the molehill, but afraid to climb that mountain. That's the good life. This is what the American dream is. I'm afraid to climb that mountain. Because it's a long way down again, right? But that molehill, I can just sit on it. I don't have to climb anything. I just sit on it. Point number 5, and I'll hurry it up. An evidence of having a mission in life, number 5. Number 6, evidence of a call to spiritual order or the priesthood. These are the principles of Tahuti. You have to be prudent or have deep insight to be in a serious manner that is befitted the faculty of a seer. When you're prudent, you're cautious, you're vigilant. You look at what's to come. You begin to see those rocks in your course before you get to them. And many of us, we've been down the same course many times, but for some reason, we don't realize, or we choose not to realize, that that rock going to hit you again. The rock is going to hit you again. You know it hit you before. We keep getting these bad relationships. We keep doing things, and every time we got to end up back in the hospital. We know these things are not right. We can't control ourselves.
Sure.
This is a sign of not mastering yourself. I don't know how many times we want to play with our lives. Number 7, freedom from resentment when under the experience of persecution and wrong. This is known as courage. We have to be strong and realize the white man or the powers that be have done us wrong and are still doing us wrong. But we must also realize that there are two, it takes two to participate. If you become angry and resentful by all that this beast has done, or the wrong that has been done to you, and consistently focus on that, become counter-revolutionary and useless to any movement. We must realize that we give the oppressor the power when we just become reactionary, when we are constantly angry. We must get over this bitterness, because once you allow yourself to be bitter about what he's doing to you, he, again, is controlling you, your thoughts, your temperament, putting stress on your heart. There is no growth out of anger. It is impossible to create when you are in a constant state of rage. Number 8, confidence in the power of the master teachers, or the teacher, or the sensei, or the nana, or the whatever. You have to be able to have confidence in those who are trying to lead you with your eye open, not with your eyes closed, but you have to have confidence. If you don't have confidence, the plan will never work. You also have, number 9, you have to have confidence in the ability to learn. We must have trust in our teachers, and we equally must have confidence in the capacity to learn in the process. Both the last 2 points represented fidelity. Number 10, the final point. Readiness or preparedness for initiations. We must be ready for initiation. This has always been a principle in our ancient cultural system. When the pupil is ready, the teacher will appear. Y'all heard that before, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
When the pupil is ready, the teacher will appear. Let's talk about that. Many of us would not realize the teacher is in the room with us because our glass is too full. My father once told me a story about a teacher and a student. I can't remember exactly the story. All I know is the student sat down with the teacher. And he started telling the teacher all what he can do, all the things that he knew. He just knew everything about himself. He knew this, he knew that. And after sitting there for a while with the teacher,